So I talked about my chronic pain and chronic illness a lot in my last vlog, and that is because it is a part of my everyday life and it affects me daily. So I thought it would be important to kind of introduce that and talk about it a little and share what I have and what my experiences are like. So without further ado, so the first thing that I suffer from the most is chronic migraines. I get them about 20 to 25 days out of the month, and they're very debilitating, and it's hard to pinpoint if it's just one long migraine or if there are multiples that are and I just get moments of reprieve. It's very hard to say. There isn't a lot of understanding of why some people get them. They thought for me it might have been linked to my hormones, but now that I'm taking medication for that, I'm still getting them. So it's hard to say if that is true or not, but I'm working on it. And for anyone that doesn't know, like who doesn't use their health insurance quite frequently or go to see a doctor quite frequently, having to see a new doctor is very stress inducing, because one, it takes so much time and effort to put everything together and explain all of your symptoms, all of the tests that you've had done, how things have changed through the years, your family history, environmental history, all these things that go into proper diagnosis and treatment, is so hard to just keep telling new people. And you finally find someone and you're working with them and everything's kind of laid out on the table, and you're finally in the treatment stages trying to find the right dosage, the right medication, and then all of a sudden you're forced to go see someone else and redo it all over again. And it's disheartening, and that is something that I had to do very recently when I lost my job. I lost my insurance, and so the new insurance that I have, my main primary care doctor is no longer covered in the network, so I had to find someone else. And I did this while, self-distancing became a part of our lives. And it wasn't as if they're going to let me come in just for to establish care. And everyone that I talked to was saying how they wouldn't prescribe a new patient medication if not seeing them first, and you wouldn't be able to establish care, through a tele appointment. But fortunately, all these people were wrong, and I was able to have a tele-appointment with my new primary care yesterday, and it was just so nice. It was the best experience I've had with a new doctor since I first started seeing someone in Chicago. And so it was so nice to be listened to, because however much I was getting help from my last primary care, I didn't have a connection with her. I felt there was this coldness and this distance between us, and so it's nice to, even through a phone, have some sort of warmth and the idea that this person is actively listening to me and actively trying to help me. And that is what I felt with this new primary care doctor. So I'm so relieved, I'm so happy, and we are going to go on a new path with my primary care, my neurologist, to find the best treatment for me. And numero dos is interstitial cystitis. It is called IC for short, and it basically means that my bladder does not work properly. It doesn't filter the way it's supposed to, and it just doesn't like my body. So the closest thing that I can relate it to is a UTI. It feels like that, but extremely worse and lasts much longer. But fortunately, I've been able to manage my symptoms for the past year or so just by eating a healthy diet and having a healthy lifestyle and taking cranberry supplements. Yeah, it is something that I'm managing, and only time is that I have flare-ups every month or so, or maybe every other month now, and you will find me in the bath for a long duration of time, which I'm pretty much there always anyway, so nothing new there, or just in bed curled up in a ball with my heating pad, trying so hard to not think of the pain. And the third thing that I suffer from is polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS for short. I have been clinically diagnosed with PCOS, meaning that I have all the symptoms but little to no cysts in my ovaries currently, which is a positive in all of this, I guess. It doesn't mean that I will never get cysts in my ovaries, but I don't have them currently. They're doing okay, which is good. PCOS is basically a hormonal disorder. Usually women have higher androgen levels, male hormone levels, and it can cause very painful periods, irregular periods, infrequent periods, acne, unwanted facial and body hair. The other thing that I suffer from is a fibromyalgia. It is a disorder that isn't really understood that well. You get full body pain, you get what we call fibro fog, which means, I'm confused or I'm forgetful, things like that. You can have mood swings, fatigue, crazy fatigue. And from what my rheumatologist told me is that people who've been through trauma especially can get into this place where their fight or flight instinct is happening all of the time. When adrenaline kicks in, it's to save your life. But for me, at least what I've been told, is that my brain has a hard time figuring out what is actually worth the panic and what are just everyday normal worries. And because of that, my body is in this constant stage of fight or flight, and it kind of lives there, and thus producing all of this pain and confusion in my body. So I am on medication for it. I have a lot of tools that I use to help me through it, and I meditate daily and I journal daily, and I'm just now trying to live this more quiet, peaceful, slow life so my body can relax. So that is pretty much a sum up of what I have. What I go through every day because I will be sharing that in my vlogs most likely. It's just a part of my life, and I have found such an amazing community on Instagram and Twitter with people who have chronic disorders and just know what it's like to be a spoonie. So if you haven't heard of this, or you have and you just don't know what it means, people with chronic pain usually will call themselves a spoonie. And spoonies are people who play by a scale of spoons. Each task that you do through the day requires a spoon. Everyone's own scale is subjective to their own physical pain or mental pain and their experiences. Some people, require a full spoon to brush their hair. For me, it's not that hard to brush my hair, so it doesn't require a spoon at all. But there are things that do, and you have so many, and you have to be selective of how you use them. I have found that on good days when I'm not having flare-ups, I feel so much guilt that I've been carrying from not being able to complete certain things that I want to do everything. I want to get it all done. All of the things that I have been putting off because of my pain, I need to get it done today. And then I wear myself out. And the pain is worse than maybe it would have been if I had just, been more careful and more selective of my tasks. When you have no spoons, you're done. You have nothing left inside of you but to rest. And that's what it means to be a spoonie, essentially. Just wanted to kind of sum up what I have and what I go through, so if I do talk about it in my vlogs, which I most likely will continue to do, people have sort of just an idea of what I have and what I'm going through. I'm going to be doing a companion post from a Chronic Voices Q&A on my blog, which I'll link down below. So if you're still more curious in what a day in the life of me or of someone with chronic pain looks like, go ahead and check that out if you want. Otherwise, I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I really want to have a community of people to talk to.